Hey, baby.
Hey, sweetie.
Hey, what's up, y'all? We coming to y'all again to share something with you that we actually got moved to share based off of what we just recently read from a comment that came in on one of our videos that we did a long time ago.
This video that we did um, some time ago, the title is My Husband is Depressed. I'm sick of it. I need help. And so today, we want to talk directly to anybody who's struggling with depression. We want to talk to them. We want to lift up the name of Phil Thompson because Phil Thompson just left uh, 21 minutes ago a comment on this video, and I saw it about 5 minutes after it was actually saw it 2 minutes after it was left, and then I shared it with my husband 5 minutes after it was left, and then we scrambled and tried to get right here in front of you to give this message. And so Phil says depression is a bitch. Please don't blame yourself. He's talking to the person who we talked about in that video. It's a battle he has to fight. A good psychiatrist can prescribe meds that will make a difference. I'm going to end it all soon. But it looks like your husband has much to live for. Therapy can help as well. Phil, I left a comment and responded to you, and I see that you responded to us, and you said, okay, I'll watch it. And that gives my heart great, great relief right now. Let me say this. There is nothing, Phil, there is nothing, whomever is watching this, and I don't know if it's Phil watching it, so I'm going to stop using your name because you could be somebody else, using it up under another name. Whoever you are, my dear, and whoever you are watching that this is somehow resonating with, because you know that you have struggled with depression, you are struggling with depression, it's something that sits with you, stays with you, that you have a hard time with, or it's something that you're dealing with right now. Everything happens for a reason. And I was getting ready to go upstairs and go to bed. I mean, literally, my husband and I turned off all the lights. And I came and I was looking for my phone. And I was in my head with my thoughts. And I said to myself, we need to do some videos. Did I not?
We did.
I came into my husband, I was in my head, and I said, we need to do some videos, and I need to go up here and tell my husband that tomorrow we need to make sure that we get one done, point blank period, no matter what. We just got to get it done. And then I pick up my phone, and I see a comment that starts with the word depression, and I click on it, and it's your comment. And I think that everything happens in the way that it needs to happen. The Creator uses people. He's using you, he's using us, he's using this scenario to impact so many people who will see this video. And so I just want to come from my heart right now and just say that I have such anxiety fill up my body when I saw you say, I'm going to end it all soon. But it seems as though your husband has something to live for. Let me say this to you, sir. Every single person, including you, no matter how low you get, no matter how hard it is, no matter what's going on, has something to live for. I mean, can you imagine that you're sitting over wherever you are right now and that at 11 something at night, someone would happen to see your comment 2 minutes after you put it online and then take the time to do a video because they just felt like they wanted to do it? No, that's God speaking to you right now. I'm going to make it real plain. That's God speaking to you right now saying, hold up, wait a minute. I'm with you. It may not always look like you want it to look. It may not always feel like you need it to feel, but I'm with you. I got you, and I'm going to speak to you. And so I don't know what you're going through, but I know that I've struggled with depression in the past. I know I've been depressed at times. I've not been a person who's struggled with long-term chronic depression, but I have certainly been depressed and didn't even know I was depressed. I've certainly worked with folks who've been depressed, and as you said, there are lots of different things that can work and that can help folks struggling with depression. You talked about having a good psychiatrist. You talked about medication being a possibility. You talked about therapy. All those things are good. But one of the things that stands out to me, Phil, is this. One of the great things that people found out in doing research about depression is that activity and movement, whether it's physical movement, whether it's getting out of your house, getting out of your space, getting out of your mind, getting unstuck, getting out of the place where you live with your thoughts and you stay in this place of repeating all of the negative kinds of energy and statements to yourself that you don't even realize you're doing. You're literally assaulting yourself, doing the unstuck work, which is literally getting up and getting out, can do an amazing, amazing, amazing thing on your life. So what I want to say to you today is don't end it all soon. When I say we, the universe, people need you. People need your story. People need to know that you struggled and that you actually got through. But you won't get through, Phil, if you don't get to the other side. Everyone can get to the other side. But you got to stay the course. You got to stay with it. And you got to be active. You got to move. So what I would encourage you to do tomorrow, what I would encourage you to do if you got to do it right now, is to do something different. To don't go in yourself and stay all deep down in yourself with your feelings and your emotions. Don't get stuck in your feelings, because feelings come and go. Feelings are up and down. And if you reach out, get into a support group, do all the things you talked about, psychiatrists with medication, therapy, and so forth, but actually engaging yourself in a different way. Figuring out what else can I do that's new, that will take my brain and trigger it in a different way so that I get out of this monotonous routine of being down. You can discover who you really are. And this isn't who you really are. What you're dealing with right now is just temporary, even if temporary has been 10 years. Because for us as human beings, everything we deal with is exacerbated and overwhelming, but it's only a moment in our lives. Whether it's 2 hours or 2 years, it's just a time period. And you've got to be able to know that. So you've got to dig deeply to pull yourself from this space. Because I know that it's not an accident that we saw your comment tonight. I know that it's not an accident that we sit here before you and tell you, and all of the other folks out here struggling where you are, that guess what? If you take the time to really get still and have just the faith, what do folks say in the Christian tradition? Because we don't espouse any particular tradition, but in the Christian tradition, they talk about the faith of a mustard seed. Just a little bit, Phil. You ain't got to have a lot, just a little bit. Hold on to that. And you see, when you get a little something, the Creator gives it back to you. It's happening right now. Right now. So I know I was on a little roll there. I know my husband has some words for you, and we want to hurry up and upload this video because you commented back and said, okay, I'll watch it. So we want you to watch it, and we want to be in communication with you.
I just want to say hold on. Hold on, because as my wife just so eloquently stated, this phase, even if it lasts 10 years, 20 years, it's just a temporary moment in your life. You can put a comma behind this. Don't put a period. Mm-hmm. Don't put an exclamation mark. Just put a comma and then keep it moving. But definitely activity, doing some mindfulness work, doing some meditation, just really going within, but not from the space where you're assaulting yourself, as my wife mentioned, with these negative thought patterns, these habitual patterns of negativity. Don't do that, but go into yourself and enter into yourself and really engage a space where you're open to new possibilities, where you decide to do something a little bit different, something outside of your comfort zone, to just go in a different direction, because the path that you're going on right now, Phil, ain't the path that's really right for you. Mm-hmm. It's not the best path. There's a better path out there. And again, I just encourage you to put a comma behind this. Don't put a period. And just keep it moving. Mm-hmm. You got so much more to live for.
So I'll end with this. I am a very, very firm believer. And my husband and I actually have some recent experiences that we're going to be sharing with everyone out there, our community, about miracles and about how the Creator and how Spirit shows up in our lives. And so I am a firm believer that therapy works. We are therapists. I am a firm believer that medication is sometimes necessary, even though sometimes it's not. I'm a firm believer that all those things are helpful. But there is a place and there is a space that sometimes folks don't lift up to you when you go to the doctor. There is a place and there is a space that sometimes people feel in their heart, but they don't have enough courage to say. And I'm going to say it to you. There's a space where healing can occur that supersedes all of those kinds of interventions. And it's called the place of spirit. It's called the place of quietude, the place of communing with yourself, the place of really opening up your heart to the Creator. And I don't know what your beliefs are. I don't know what your connection is to God. But what I want to tell you right now is that if this is your first experience or your 25th experience or your 1000th experience with God, please don't miss it. Don't miss it. Because God is working right here, right now, tonight, in you and in us. He's working in your situation because this is not of my own doing. I don't even I get comments on our YouTube videos. We got over 500 YouTube videos. We get comments on our YouTube videos all day, every day. And I told my husband I click on some, and most of them I do not. But I clicked on yours because the Creator is working. So open yourself up and know that with all of the things that are good out here and that are great and that are wonderful to help you move from this space, that at some point and in some way, when you surrender to Spirit, when you surrender to what you don't understand, when you surrender to what you don't really know about, you don't really understand what's going on, but you know that something is moving, something can happen, something can change, something can shift. That's called a spiritual experience. And I hope, Phil, that tonight, and as you look and listen to this video, as you move forward, that you take a moment to just say, I surrender. I don't have all the answers. I've tried some things and they don't seem like they're working. I try some things, they work sometimes, and other times they don't. This is low. This is the lowest I've ever been. I've actually thought about ending my life, but I surrender. And so in that regard, we're going to end like this. Dear Creator, we are lifting up Phil. We're lifting him up to you right now. We don't really have to lift him up to you because you already lifted him up to us, because you already are with him right now where he sits. You already know what's going on. You've known everything about Phil from the time he was born until now. Phil is still unfolding. Phil doesn't know all of who he is. He doesn't know all of what he is bound to do if he would just press through. He doesn't know all that he is supposed to manifest because he's still becoming, as we all are. And so, dear God, I thank you for him. I thank you for his life because his life is precious. And we're going to just straight up knock out any barriers that are coming up in his mind that would have him to think that he needs to end it all. Let me tell you something. God is saying right now, Phil, that pain is the number one thing that causes people to commit suicide. But there is no pain. There is no terror in your heart. There is no trauma. There is no tragedy that is too powerful for God to overcome. So God, I ask that you speak to him right now through us, through this situation, and help him to understand that if he gives it to you, if he surrenders and gives it to you, no matter what it looks like, no matter what it feels like, all is really well. We claim it. We know it's happening right now in this moment. Phil, it's all good. Stop playing. Keep the faith and start pushing.